When we moved to Kenton-on-Sea, I wasn't really sure what the schooling system was going to be like. I said then already before we actually moved here, well, if we don't like it, we can always start our own school.
I taught in a government school and the system never rang true to me. And when I met Anouk and we started talking about the possibilities of opening a school from the start, we were on the same page.
Kind of where the first ideas for the school were born.
To start from scratch and look at all the different systems and to see what does and doesn't work. And that is how we found the Reggio Emilia approach.
Most kind of government schools run is that it's really they focus on uniformity and not really on just expressing yourself who you are. Having a daughter that's quite sensitive and quite precise. In the kind of current educational system, she was quite stressed and fearful of not stepping out of line.
One of the biggest issues is fear of making mistakes. So right at the beginning, on the first day, I tell them that you can never be creative. You can never discover something new or create something without making mistakes. Mistakes are opportunities where you can learn from it and do something different, or maybe you create something magical. So that fear that holds you back, we eliminate from the classroom.
When we started conceptualizing the ideas for the school, one thing that really stepped out, I think with every parent that was there at the first meeting, they wanted to have a school that really focused on the individual needs of the child.
How the child is developing, being happy in the classroom is important, and a happy child is going to be learning. So it is important to find out what works for each individual child and how to develop them holistically, not just in certain areas. We work in themes. The one we've been doing for the last 2 weeks is the ocean. So we would cover that in science, art, English and maths. So in maths we would be designing sandcastles and building them to ratio, building them to scale. In research on science we would be investigating different sea creatures. In art we would be designing and drawing and building paper mache models of the different sea creatures. In English we would be developing the vocabulary through the one theme.
The traditional school system focuses on a small part of a child's education, leaving out a huge portion of what is important to child development.
Traditional schooling focuses primarily on 2 forms of intelligences, the logical intelligence and the linguistic intelligence. And they do that because it's easier to mark, to read. You can standardize tests. Now, the other intelligences are harder to read or to monitor, to standardize. Things like musical intelligence, spatial reasoning intelligence, naturalistic intelligence, personal, how well you know yourself, and your interpersonal skills, how well you can relate in a group, are all important skills that are necessary in the workplace. And these skills are not developed at normal schools.
In today's society, you need every single one of those intelligences to be able to excel as an individual.
The teaching philosophy, what it makes special is that it's really child-led and really focusing on learning through play and discovery.
Play-based learning or discovery-based learning is the way we all learn. It is the most natural way of learning. And when you allow a child to learn through discovery, they will retain that information for life.
So, yeah, Bushwillow, we're really trying to create a school where everyone is welcome and where children from very different backgrounds play and learn together, but also learn to respect each other. Obviously, being a private school, we have to charge school fees, and we really want to give people that don't have the means or their family don't have the means to also have access to the type of education that we provide in our school, through a bursary program.
At Bushwillow, we're giving children an opportunity to explore who they really are. So by the time they leave here, they have a full understanding of what their potentials are.
Since Maika, my daughter, has been going to Bushwillow, I definitely have seen a change. It's just fun to go and walk to school, and she's just very waking up very cheerful, nothing is a problem, while before everything could be a potential very stressful situation. So I can definitely see she's much happier and much more herself.
If we're able to stop comparing children to each other and allow their uniqueness to be their strength, they will be able to measure themselves against themselves and always strive to do better.